While not the first platformer to feature Namco's mascot, Pac-Man World is perhaps the most well-known series of platformers in the franchise. Originally released on the PlayStation 1 and later ported to the Game Boy Advance, the game has since been remade by Now Productions, releasing on PC, PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. How does the restart of Pac-Man series of platformers fare? Let's find out. The story is set during Pac-Man's birthday, celebrating with his friends and family. But before the man himself could arrive, said friends and family were kidnapped by the ghosts, led by a mecha clone of Pac-Man known as Talkman. So of course, Pac-Man must help find his family and friends on his birthday. Simple, it works, but believe it or not, there are two endings to this game depending on how much of the family you recover. On to the gameplay, and as I said, Pac-Man World Re-Pac is a 3D platformer being a remake of the PlayStation classic. While you will have moments where you will see behind Pac-Man, the game also has a perspective of a pseudo 2D look, obviously with a full rotational movement. And like what would become a standard of 3D platformers, there is a lot of collecting. Though unlike, say, Rare's N64 games like Banjo-Kazooie or Donkey Kong, not a whole lot of them are required. Hell, all you need to do really is just beat the levels and bosses and you unlock more worlds. Most collectibles unlock more secrets such as maps that play like the classic arcade game, and keys to free Pac-Man's family, and even letters of Pac-Man's name that unlock secret bonus rounds. Pac-Man's moveset involves your typical moveset of running and jumping, but he can also briefly run in place and once released, give himself a boost of speed for short slopes and as a form of combat, similar to Sonic the Hedgehog's Speed Dash. More combat-oriented moves involve a butt bounce, which help him get to higher spots, and even lobbing Pac pellets like grenades on instant impact. Though there will be times where Pac-Man will need power-ups like metal for more metallic enemies, as well as the power pellet iconic to the franchise, making Pac-Man chomp up Ghost, and in larger form. And while I'm at it, let's talk the boss fights, which I'm happy to say are quite diverse. You have your standard platformer boss fare in having to figure out how to beat the bosses, but you have some bosses that change the rules entirely, like you're racing a gang of clowns in go-karts, or even better, blasting enemy ships and even the boss a la Galaga or Galaxian. And thankfully, at least on the Xbox One, the game plays a mostly smooth 60 frames per second, something I can't say for the Switch version. However, the frame rate there doesn't make my eyes want to cry blood, as it's still very playable, so no complaints there either. The only thing that I dislike is the Miss Pac-Man Eraser. To be fair, it isn't Namco Bandai's fault, as AtGames are being really stupid with this legal dispute over the character and game, but good lord, it's making sure Namco never uses her, at least in her most iconic form, let alone acknowledge her game. An insult to gaming history if I've ever seen it. But overall, Pac-Man World Re-Pac is a very fun, fairly short platformer to run through. It's one of the few games where I did 100%, as it was that fun to take your time and get all the secrets. But other than that, you want a good platformer that will last you a weekend or two, you definitely can't go wrong, no matter where you play it.